Hello there, my sweethearts. It's time to get comfy and snuggle up because I have such a special story to tell you today. It's a story about the big blue sea, about dreaming wonderful dreams, and about someone you love very, very much.
I knew you would be. This is a super special one just for you two. We're going to go on a little trip back in time, way back, to a place where the ocean waves tickled the sandy shore, and where a little boy's big adventure was just about to begin.
That's right. Before he was your Abba, he was a little boy, about your age, with eyes that sparkled with curiosity and a heart that was full of big, hopeful dreams. So let's go meet him, shall we?
Okay, so our story starts in a little town, right on the edge of the huge, wide ocean. And this is where a little boy and the sea became the best of friends.
Every single day, this was his favorite thing to do. He'd scamper up onto his big, warm rock, feel the salty spray on his cheeks, and just watch. He'd watch those giant ships as they floated by, so quiet and slow, like gentle giants napping on the water.
And sometimes, their big horns would call out across the waves, a deep, long, rumbling sound. Honk! To him, it wasn't just a noise. Oh no, it was the sound of adventure, calling his name. And even though he was just a little boy, and the people on the ship were too far away to hear, he'd wave his little hand and whisper to them. It was his secret promise to the ships and to the sea.
So one sunny afternoon, Abba decided he wasn't just going to wait for an adventure to find him. Nope, he was going to make his own, with just a piece of paper and a whole lot of imagination. First, he found an old newspaper. Then, he folded it so carefully, making each corner just perfect. He even drew a tiny little captain in the window. That was him, of course. And finally, he gave his brand new boat a very important name, the Sea Star.
He found a little puddle that the rain had left behind and gently placed the Sea Star in the water. And you know what? He watched as that little puddle trickled into a tiny stream, and that stream carried his brave little boat all the way towards the big open sea.
He ran right alongside it, cheering it on. His heart was beating so fast with excitement, like a little drum. "Go, Sea Star, go!" he shouted, waving goodbye as his little boat sailed off on its very first adventure. Later that night, when the sun had gone to sleep and the world was quiet, Abba's mind was still full of the sea. And as he peeked out his window into the darkness, he saw something that looked like pure magic. Out on the water, there were tiny, warm, glowing lights. They were the lanterns on the fishermen's boats, and they bobbed up and down on the gentle waves. They looked just like little stars that had fallen out of the sky and were dancing on the sea. He was standing there with his dad, his Baba, and he pointed to where the sea and the sky seemed to touch. He was so curious about what amazing things were hiding just beyond what he could see.
His father smiled a big, warm smile and gave him such a wise answer. He meant that before you can go on the biggest, grandest adventures, you have to start by learning from the small ones, like sailing a little paper boat.
You know, it felt like the sea heard Abba's questions and knew he was listening. And so, the very next day, it left him a very special gift right on the sand. While he was walking on the beach, something shiny caught his eye. It was a beautiful seashell swirling with colors, and when he picked it up and held it to his ear, he heard a gentle sound. Whoosh, whoosh. It was like the ocean was breathing and whispering its secrets right to him. That night, holding his shell tight, Abba had the most wonderful dream. He dreamed his little paper boat, the Sea Star, came sailing by, and it gave him a little wink. And in the dream, his boat told him that even though the sea is very, very big, it's not scary at all. It's actually full of wonders.
So, with the ocean's secret in his new shell and that happy dream tucked away in his heart, Abba felt braver than ever before. The next day, he went back to his special rock because he had something very important to say. He stood up tall, looked out at the big blue water, and he made a promise, out loud. A promise that one day he would have a real ship, and he would see the whole world and bring back amazing stories to share with everyone he loved.
And just as he finished his promise, the wind began to swirl all around him, soft and gentle, almost like a hug. It really felt like the ocean had heard every word and was whispering right back to him. "I'll be waiting for you, little captain."
Now, I bet you're wondering, what happened to that little boy and his great big promise? Well, This is the best part of the whole story. That little boy, he grew up, and he kept his promise. Your Abba became a real sailor on real giant ships. He sailed across all the oceans and visited faraway, magical places he had only dreamed of seeing.
But you know what? No matter how far away he traveled or how many amazing things he saw, he never, ever forgot that he was once just a little boy sitting on a rock with a tiny paper boat and a heart full of huge dreams. And that, my sweet Jai and Gia, is the secret your Abba wanted to share with you. When you have a dream in your heart, even if it feels very small, like a little paper boat, you should give it a chance. Fold it, float it, and let it sail. Because you just never know what wonderful places it might take you one day.